This Elder Young One coming at y'all again. Had to bump that Nae Nae for a minute. I'll get back into that later. But we're going to be dealing with the spirit of prophecy. We're going to be talking about how Yahuah speaks. Yahuah. But yeah, we're going to be talking about how Yahuah speaks to us in the spirit. This video might be interesting to some of y'all that might wonder why certain things happen. Like, say, like you'll go somewhere and it'll seem like this place is familiar to you, you know, like you've been there before, but you know you haven't. But it's almost like you can tell what's about to happen before it happens. That's the spirit of prophecy. That's, you know, they call it deja vu. You know, it's like you've been there before, or if you meet someone, it seems like you met them before, but you know you haven't. Deja vu. It's just another term for the spirit of prophecy. And the spirit of prophecy is kind of tricky, because sometimes it could be the spirit of prophecy, and then sometimes it can just be an effect of something you watched before you went to bed, or something that you, whatever activities that was going on. Sometimes you I guess you reenact those activities while you sleep, because it's kind of a way that your brain has to process what you've done, so that it can remember to do it again when you get up the next day. So it's kind of tricky. But I'm gonna go into the scriptures right quick, dealing with the how to get in that place where we can get direct information, where we can get a word from on high, where we can get into that place of what they call deja vu. When you get into that place where you can get the spirit of prophecy, and it starts dealing with you, and you start operating in it. Okay. First, we're going to go to Job chapter 33, starting at verse 14. We'll go there first. Job 33:14. And it says, "For Yahuah speaketh once, yea, twice, yet man perceiveth it not. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, in slumberings upon the bed. Then," verse 16, "then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction." So when you in that deep sleep, not REM sleep, not REM sleep, not them first 3 or 4 hours. No, this is when you in deep sleep. Okay, and it says in a dream, in a vision of the night. That's verse 15. That's when the instruction comes. That's when the spirit of prophets comes. That's when the information comes. The download, when you're getting that spiritual download into your inner cortex, past your outer cortex, your frontal lobe, bypassing all of that, because you're asleep now. So none of this is really operating. So your brain has to be pretty much in shutdown mode. You can't try to process this when it comes into your mind. This is something that you can't get it if you're alert and you're thinking and you're wondering, and you will, who is this? What is this? What does that mean? You know, you can't be thinking about all that. You have to be able to be receptive and receive it. And one of the best ways to be receptive, to receive this download, the spiritual download into your pineal gland, it's going to be deep in the recesses of your brain, past your frontal lobe, past your outer cortex of your brain, all of that, is when you're in a deep sleep, or when you're in a deep slumbering or sleepy state. Okay. So now we're gonna go to we're still in the book of Job, chapter 35. Go there. Chapter 35, verse 10 and 11. It says, "But none saith, Where is Yahuah my maker, who giveth songs in the night? Verse 11, who teacheth us more than the beasts of the earth, and maketh us wiser than the fowls of heaven. And this all happens at night. That's when your pineal gland is most active. That's when it's secreting the melatonin, because your pineal gland is a gland after all, and it's secreting the melatonin. I hope I ain't lost some of y'all on this, because I've been talking about this on Facebook. So those of y'all that know me on Facebook, y'all probably know what I'm talking about. But to y'all that's new to this, we've been talking about the pineal gland. We've been talking about meditation. We've been talking about hearing a word, a real word from on high, and how to get into that place. So that's where all this is coming from. So, but yeah, this is how you get that wisdom. This is how you get those songs in the night. A lot of music artists are famous. You know, they make millions of dollars from songs that they've heard in the night. So that's where a lot of this comes from. A lot of them just don't know it, and a lot of them they'll get the tune, they'll get the melody because they will hear it, but then they'll add their own words or they'll change the words, different things like that. That's why some songs are just so catchy to us, because we've heard it from when we were asleep or when we was in that state where we could receive it. And we're going to go into where the songs come from, all of that. So now we're going to go to Job 38 and 7. Now here's where the songs come from. Job chapter 38, verse 7. When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy. In other words, when the morning stars or the angels sang together, this is what happens just before the break of day. That's why it's called morning stars. Okay, and they're singing. If you're in it, of course, by then you're gonna be in a really deep sleep. Usually just before the sun comes up, anywhere from dark 30. That's what I call it, around about 4:30 in the morning till the sun's coming up. That's what I call dark 30. You're in a deep sleep. If these angels are singing, you're gonna be receptive to that. Some people wake up with a song. They don't know where it come from. They just wake up, you know, or they'll be whistling or something, or humming or something. It's something that they heard. They don't know where it come from. So that's where a lot of the songs come from. All right, now we're going to go to, but yeah, keep that in mind. The morning stars sang together. All the sons of God shouted for joy. Actually, the sons of Yahuah, but I'm just using the word God because that's what's in there. Most of our people still relate to the word God, so I kind of interchange them. Okay, we're going to go to Psalm 18 and 11. Psalm 18 and 11. And it says, He made darkness his secret place. His pavilion round about him were dark waters and thick clouds of the skies. So in order to get in that secret place, it is in the darkness. It's not in the light, like how they tell you in that New Testament, or you might watch these movies. They tell you, you know, if you die and you see a light, walk into the light. You know, it's not about light. It's about darkness. The reason why it's about darkness is because you have to be in darkness in order for your pineal gland to secrete the melatonin that helps your body be able to receive the download. You can't receive the download, the instruction, without the melatonin. And that comes from that gland that's deep inside your brain. Okay? So it's not about the light, because the pineal gland is light sensitive. It's I forgot the term they use, like photosynthesis, you know, same kind of like plants, you know, like the sunlight affects plants in a certain way. It's the same way for humans. We're the same way. The light affects us in certain ways. If you're sitting around in a bright lit room all the time, it's going to be hard for you to go to sleep, because that pineal gland is picking up on that light, and it's not secreting that melatonin. So that's why it's so hard for people to work night shift to sleep. You know, you have to cover all the windows. You have to make it dark in the room. You know, you sleep a lot better that way. But going on, so we know that the darkness is the secret place. Psalm 42 and 8, that also talks about the songs in the night. 42 and 8. In the night his song shall be with me, So he's dealing more with the songs that's coming to him at night. Trying to go through this a little quick. Genesis chapter 24 and 63. I'm not going to turn there, but if you go to Genesis chapter 24, verse 63, you're going to see where even Isaac meditated. So, and that's the next point I'm getting to. The one of the ways to get into this, if you know, you didn't get to sleep that long, or maybe you didn't sleep good, maybe you was tossing and turning, maybe you didn't get that deep sleep like you wanted to. You can always meditate. To meditate, it helps get you in that place. And I'll get a little bit more into that if I have time. I plan on making a video specifically on meditation only, but right now I want to try to give the scriptures to go along with all of this. But yeah, Isaac meditated. Okay. Then we got Joshua 8 and 29 that helps you know that when it says in eventide, in Genesis 24 and 63, it's talking about when the sun was down. So that's what Joshua chapter 8 verse 29 is for. It's just to let you know that eventide means when the sun went down. That's when Isaac was meditating. Okay, when the sun went down, that's when he meditated. Okay, then we got Genesis chapter 15 verse 12, where a deep sleep fell upon Abram. Remember? A deep sleep fell on him. That's when Yahuah started speaking to him. It was a great darkness. It wasn't a great light. No, it was a great darkness. Go back and read it. Genesis chapter 15 verse 12. So, he also had a vision. Abram had a vision in Genesis chapter 15 verse 1. So we see where he had a vision. We see where the darkness came, not no light. Okay, the darkness came, and he went into a deep sleep. When a deep sleep came on him, that's when Yahuah started speaking to him. Told him about the 400-year prophecy. Told him all about his generations after him and everything. After the deep sleep came. You see that. So you got to have the darkness. You got to have the deep sleep. You can meditate to get into that area. In that place where you can receive the instruction, where you can get the download. Okay. Now we're going to go to Genesis chapter 31, starting at verse 55. Genesis 31 and verse 55. It says, and early in the morning, Laban rose up and kissed his son and his daughters and blessed them. And Laban departed and returned unto his place. Now this is letting you know that this was early in the morning, probably before the sun came up. Now we in Genesis chapter 32, starting at verse 1. And Jacob went on his way, and the angels of Yahuah met him. You see that? And when Jacob saw them, he said, this is Yahuah's host. He knew that these were angels. And even though they probably looked like regular men to most people. But he knew that these were angels. And he called the name of that place Mahanaim. Okay? So this was early in the morning, before the sun rose. And the reason why I know it was before the sun came up, because if you skip down to verse 24, it talks more about what was actually happening. It says, we're in Genesis chapter 32, verse 24. It says, and Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. See that? Until the breaking of the day, when the sun was starting to come up. So he met the host, and now he's wrestling with one of them. Okay. So and I also think that this was a mental battle. Also, this was something. Sometimes we wrestle in our mind. You know. So that's what I think also was going on at the same time. So verse 25. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint, as he wrestled with him. Verse 26, and he said, let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go except thou bless me. Because, this was a morning star right here. This was, usually when the sun comes up, the stars got to go. They got to leave, okay? So, yeah, the sun was coming up. I got to go. You got to let me go, okay? So, when the morning stars sang together, okay, and all the sons of Yahuah shouted for joy, okay, this is what was going on. Those were angels, all right? So we still in Genesis chapter 32. We're gonna skip on down to verse 30 because remember he asked him what his name was. He didn't, and it don't say, but it does say that Yaakov named the place. Where you get the name from? So we got verse 30 where he says, and Yaakov called the name of the place Penal. Okay, like your pineal gland in your mind. Okay. And Yaakov called the name of the place Penal, for I have seen Yahuah face to face. In the Hebrew, it also says Allah, because that just means God in Hebrew. When you see where it says Allah in the I think it's the IPS Tanakh. But yeah, Yaakov called the name of the place Penal because that was the name that he had. Okay, so as he passed over Penal, verse 31. It says the sun rose upon him because all of this stuff happened at night before the sun came up. Okay, so the pineal gland, that is the place where the download goes, where the information goes before the sun comes up. Once the sun comes up, the download stops. The pineal gland stops secreting the melatonin. Now it's time to secrete other endorphins to help wake you up, to help make you alert. Okay, that's what's going on there. Okay, the pineal gland. So we got that, and now we're going to go to Genesis chapter 42 verse 9, and that's basically just letting us know how that even Joseph had dreams. Okay, and Yahuah was giving him these dreams. You normally dream when you're asleep, right? Okay, so Yahuah was dealing with Joseph while he was asleep. So it's important to get your sleep, and it's also important to meditate. Every chance you get, when you got nothing to do, if you have to, make plans. Set aside some time to meditate. Try to meditate for at least 25, 30 minutes. If you can make it that long. I might can go 30 minutes before I'm about to fall over asleep. Okay? But yeah, you want to get your meditation in. You want to try to get you some real good sleep in when you do sleep. And make sure you give your body a reason to want to rest. I usually wait till I'm really sleepy. I might actually go a couple of days without really getting a lot of sleep, so that when I finally do lay down to sleep, I sleep pretty solid. Okay, and I get that deep sleep. When that deep sleep come in, kind of like what happened to Abraham. All right. But yeah, Joseph remembered them dreams because that was Yahuah's way of dealing with him. He deals with all of us like that. It's just a lot of us don't know it. We don't really pay attention to it. We might be done dreamed about something and we'll wake up and we'll forget about it. But here it says Joseph remembered the dreams. So you have to remember your dreams. All right, and I'm also showing you in scripture where it says a good way to do that too. Okay, Ezekiel chapter 40 verse 2. He saw a vision because we're dealing with dreams and visions here. Okay. Numbers chapter 11. Verses 25 to 29. I'm going to turn there because we're dealing with the spirit of prophecy. Numbers 11, starting at verse 25. It says, and Yahuah came down in a cloud and spake unto him, and took the spirit that was upon him, and he gave it unto the 70 elders. Okay. And it came to pass that when the Spirit rested upon them, they prophesied. Because that's one of the things that's going to happen. The spirit of prophecy comes down on all of us. We're going to be prophesying. We're going to be the prophets. Just like back then. Okay. Verse 26. But there remained 2 of the men in the camp. The name of one was Eldad, and the name of the other Medad, and the Spirit rested upon them. And they were of them that were written, but went not out unto the tabernacle, and they prophesied in the camp. So no matter where you at, once the spirit of prophecy come down on you, it's gonna give you that unction, that desire to prophesy, or speak, or teach, or predict things that's going to happen, or say the same things that the prophet said that's already written, different things like that. So now we're going to go to verse 29. We're still in Numbers chapter 11, verse 29. It says, And Moses said unto him, Enviest thou for my sake? Would Yahuah that all Yahuah's people were prophets, and that Yahuah would put his spirit upon them, because Yahuah wants all of us to be his prophets. All of the Negroes, all of the Hebrews, all of the Yahoos, all of us coloreds, he wants us to be his prophets, okay? And he wants to put his spirit on all of us. But we have to get into that place, you see, because now we got the Nae Nae song going on. We got people doing the Nae Nae, but a lot of them don't even know that this is praise and worship to Yahuah. A lot of them don't even know it. They saying Yahuah and they praising Yahuah and don't even know it, and they don't even see that's prophecy right there. That's the spirit of prophecy being fulfilled in Zechariah chapter 13 verse 9 right there. Also Ezekiel chapter 6 verses 8 through 10 right there. But yeah, that's what's going on, the spirit of prophecy. So now we need to try to tap into that. We got a sign from the Most High himself. We see the prophecy coming to pass. So now it's time to tap into it. That's what the whole Nae Nae thing is about. And the people who made the song probably have no clue that that's what happened. You see, they just woke up with that song in their head, and they don't know where the song came from. But see, the morning stars was singing Yahuah. They were singing that the whole time. They heard it. They put it down. They mixed it, came out, everybody doing the Nae Nae, and they don't even know that they're worshiping Yahuah because the morning stars were singing it the whole time. Okay? So when you go back and you look at that Nae Nae video, listen to it. Listen to the chorus. Listen to what they're saying. They're worshiping Yahuah. So the morning stars, they singing, and we hearing them. Okay? That's your proof right there. I mean, it don't get no plainer than that. So now we're gonna go to, let's see, we're gonna go to Numbers chapter 12 and verse 6. We're gonna go there. It says, And he said, Hear now my words, if there be a prophet among you, I, Yahuah, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. And that's how he deals with us. Dreams and visions. Dreams and visions. But you got to get in that place. You can't have a dream or a vision. And now the visions happen when you're in what I call the trance-like state. It's kind of like daydreaming. It's kind of like when you focus your eyes on one spot and you just stare at it and you don't want to move, and you just clear your mind. You're not even thinking of anything. You're in that trance-like state. When that happens, you start getting that download. That download stuff coming in. So, but yeah, it says, unto him in a vision, and I will speak unto him in a dream. Now we're going to go to Numbers chapter 24, starting at verse 2. Numbers chapter 24, verse 2. And we're still dealing with the dreams and the visions. And we're going to talk about the trance now. I got a pretty good spot here. Numbers chapter 24, starting at verse 2. And Balaam lifted up his eyes, and he saw Yasharal abiding in his tents according to their tribes. And the spirit of Yahuah came upon him. See, there goes the spirit coming upon him. But was he just, was he in his normal state of mind when this happened? Was he just kind of going about the day doing what he normally does. Let's read on. Verse 3. He took up his parable and said, Balaam, the son of Beor, has said, the man whose eyes are opened hath said, he said, which heard the words of Allah, which saw the vision of the Almighty, falling into a trance. That's in verse 4. But having his eyes open. So it was like he was daydreaming. His eyes was open, but it was like he was in a trance state. Like when someone just sitting and they just staring at one spot. Just focus. So when you really get focused, just straight focused, that's when you start getting that download, that information, that spirit of prophecy start dealing with you. You can't, Yahuah cannot deal with you if you're busy. You all that stuff distracting you. You got this going on over here. We got that going on over there. All kind of things going on to try to distract us, and we can't get into that place, that calm, quiet, dark, trance-like place where we can get the download, get that spirit of prophecy. But that's what's going on here in Numbers chapter 24, verse 4. He's in that trance. And while it was in the trance, Yahuah did not give him anything bad to say. We'll go to verse 9. He couched, he lay down as a lion, and as a great lion, who shall stir him up? Blessed is he that blesses thee, and cursed is he that curses thee. So it was just all blessings for the people of Yasharal. Even though, who was it? Balak. He wanted Balaam to pronounce a curse on Yasharal. But he went into a trance, and then it talks about it again in verse 16. Numbers chapter 24, verse 16, he saw the vision of the Almighty falling into a trance, but having his eyes open. So there it is again. So that's one way to get the download. If you ever, and here's one thing that one exercise you can do, you can find you a quiet place, and you can find you one spot, and you can focus on that one spot. Don't look at nothing else, and just stop thinking about everything. Clear your mind. At that point, nothing matters, and you'll be able to think more clearly after that. Sometimes you may feel yourself wanting to daydream or slip away and just stare and gaze. I say let it happen. That's your time right there. Just let that gaze start, and don't think about anything. Give yourself time to get a little bit of that download, that spirit of prophecy. So we're going to go on to Joel chapter 2, verse 28. Joel 2 and 28. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters, that's the younger generation, your sons and your daughters, just like all these young people that's out there doing the Nae Nae, praising Yahuah, okay, it says, they shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams. Your young men shall see visions. You see that? So it talks about the pouring out of his spirit. That's the spirit of prophecy. It says he's going to show wonders in the heaven and the earth, blood, fire, pillars of smoke. And all of this is going to happen before the great and terrible day of Yahuah come. Verse 32. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call upon the name of Yahuah shall be saved. Now, this is talking about the rest of verse 32. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as Yahuah hath said, and in the remnant whom Yahuah shall call. This is only for the remnant that Yahuah was going to call, and those are his chosen people, not everybody. It's not like the New Testament where they tell you no matter who you are, no matter what you've done, all you got to do is just believe and just call on the Lord and you'll be saved. No. This is only for the remnant who he's going to call. That's why everybody's not getting it. Everybody don't even see it. It's happening right now. Zechariah chapter 13 verse 9 is happening right now in front of these people's face. A lot of them don't even see it. It's happening right now. You can go watch the video. But now we're going to go to Habakkuk. We're going to go to Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 2. It says, and Yahuah answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. And that's another thing that I wanted to get to. Another piece of advice is to make what they call a dream journal. You get you a dream journal. Get your little tablet, a little notebook, or you can get you some paper. I usually fold my paper and I leave notes on it like this. Fold it and write down notes on it, so that when you have a dream, or if you have a vision, or if you're in a trance, or if you hear a word, you can write it down. Okay? Write it down for future reference, because as sure as you received it, it's going to happen. But a lot of us, things will happen to us and we will get that deja vu moment, and we don't know why. And we don't understand that it's something that Yahuah done already told us a long time ago. We done had a dream about it. We done saw the vision already, but we forgot it until it started happening. Once it started happening, it's too late. We already in the midst of it, and we feel this, what they call deja vu, going on. But by the time we say anything, it's already happening. It's like, man, I knew they was gonna do that. I knew she was finna say that. I knew who was finna do that. But by the time we remember it, we're already in it, and it's in the process of happening. So to get the jump start on that is to make a dream journal. Write down your dreams. Write down your visions. I know some of y'all have them. I talked to some of y'all on Facebook. Y'all done told me about some of your dreams, some of your visions that you had, and that's what it is. You starting to get that download, but you got to keep track of them. You got to write it down. You got to pay attention to it, because that's how he deals with us in dreams and visions. So don't let nobody tell you just because you had a dream that don't mean nothing. We're dealing with reality. But that's why they used to always try to say, you want to try to make your dreams come true. Because that's one of the ways that Yahuah deals with us and gives us that spirit of prophecy, just like he did in the scriptures with the dreams and visions.